then I got muted. All right, you're good to go. All right.
Well, good.
Jaqualine, Bellavia, Duhon, our awesome MSI here, who's very much in tune and running our Wine of the Month Club program. I'm handing this over to you. If you guys don't know who she is, you gotta love the way that she presents. But you know what? She's a servant leader, and she is leading from the top with her team. But she also is giving to everybody here in the RRR247 family. I'm excited for what she has to share, and she's got some awesome guests. I'll let you bring that on. I just love what we're gonna do here. I'm gonna sit back, take notes. And then soon today, I gotta put some ads out. So anyway, Jackie, on to you.
Well, thank you so much, Rory, and welcome everybody to our Saturday morning wine tasting brunch. I just love it that we're doing this on Saturday mornings. For those of you, like you said, who don't know me, my name's Jaqualine. I've been around these parts for about 5 years, and I absolutely love what we do here in the platform. I'm coming to you from West Florida. Had the opportunity to be here for a week with my son, and we are having our 20th anniversary crawfish boil today. So you may hear, I closed the doors. I tried to come in a quiet place, but I apologize in advance because there's going to be about 100 people here in just a few minutes. But so what we do on Saturday mornings is we feature one of our wonderful DTCA wines, and we're going to feature a cab today. And a cab is a bowl wine. It can be served with many different types of dishes. Most times when you think of cab, you think of a big, bold steak or something of that nature. But this morning, we have a real treat for you. And I just love this lady. I absolutely adore her. I can't wait to see her in a couple of weeks in Orlando. She is our Canadian. She is Laura Armstrong, and in and of itself, I mean, she has so many awards and things that she has won over the years in her martial arts, and we just absolutely love her. So she is going to bring us a real treat today with several different pairings, I think. And I have her page to post a little bit later, but I believe the page's name is Cheese Queen, so I think that says enough. So Laura, welcome, and take it away, sister.
Hey, everybody. It's so great to be here this morning. And Jackie, I'm totally jealous that you are in a bathing suit or something like that, sunlight, because that's coming for me soon. Yeah, I need a margarita. All right. Is it too soon for margaritas? No, it's time for wine. So I actually had 2 cabs I was going to do today. Let's just put it there for a second. I'm going to talk for a bit before I show you what we're going to do today. And basically, I like both the cabs, and we're going to taste both the cabs because though Cabernet the grape has a certain flavor, when it's blended, and you've heard Rory say this before, that Cabernets, each wine is a true wine, therefore each lot is a little bit different, right? So I worked in the commodities industry for over 20 years, and I traded everything from meat to dried fruits and nuts to cheese and dairy products all over the world. So I really got to know cheese. I mean, I was moving cheese from South America to Russia when that wasn't even really a thing. So it was really an educational time. And so, of course, when we were talking about the change of format and we're having on the Saturday, I'm like, I wanted to do a cheese pairing. Because a lot of the time we go to the store and we're not sure what wine to offer when we have guests and we're offering a cheese plate. Because on your cheese plate, sometimes you're offering also charcuterie. So you want to make sure that you have the right wine for, the guests are going to enjoy the maximum. So I am here actually not in Canada, I'm in Western New York. And I had a case of our wine shipped here for today. We're not drinking a case, though it's tempting. I'm going to taste with, I got the Antonio, Peter's going to tell me.
Antonio, baby, Antonio.
Yes, I try so hard. Antonio, okay. Cab. I've also got the Donna Walker cab, okay.
Oh, wow.
And what I did is I had my girlfriend Elise, I'm at her house, they're tasting with us this morning, you just can't see them. And we're going to try, I had her go out and I gave her a list of the cheese that I wanted to pair with the cab wine. Now, there is no wrong choice here because your taste is your taste. Okay. And that's the thing to remember. You can't make a bad choice. I'm just giving you a guideline of some things that are going to give you the best taste, the best bang for your buck with your wine. Okay. So we did up a little cheese board this morning. So I'll let you have a quick look at it. Yeah, I want it.
Oh, that looks delicious.
You guys see that okay? Actually, I'll hold it up. You hold that.
Here, I'll just hold this. You're perfect right there.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, jeez, the honey slid off. Okay. And then over here, turn it this way.
Mhm.
These are our cheese knives. Okay, we're going to use different ones. You don't have to do this at home. I'm just being fancy. And then we've got some glasses here that we're going to use for the tasting. Okay, so let's come on back to the cheese board. So today I'll tell you what we've got here before we start the tasting. So we've got a 18-month-old Gouda. By the way, we got all this cheese at Wegmans. We don't have that in Canada, but if you go to Longo's or you know, one of those other specialty stores in Canada, you'll be able to get these cheeses. So this is an 18-month-old aged Gouda, 18-month-old cheddar. This is a 16-month-old Parmesan.
Yeah.
This is a creamy blue. You do not need a strong blue unless you like that taste, because it's going to be strong anyways. Okay. And this is a Camembert, which most people compare to Brie, and they think it's a bit of a lighter cheese, right? But the Camembert actually has got a little kick to it that the Brie doesn't. That's why the Brie, it's more creamy. You want the triple cream. It's more like a softer cheese. Okay. Now to complement that, we have a few things on here. So we have candied walnuts, some local honey. Okay, I'm going to show you what cheeses those pair with the best. Some grapes, and we got some chocolate covered Easter strawberries, as well as a little bit of salami here. So it's just a very basic board. Okay. Everyone's like, yeah, right. Basic. Okay.
But that wine ain't basic, sister. That wine's going to be real good.
Yeah. So can you show the wine? So this is the wine we're going to start with. We're going to pour a little bit of the, now, one thing I want you to know about your cheese, when you're bringing your cheese out, you want to eat it at room temperature. Do not eat it when it's cold, because it's not the full flavor. Make sure it's at room temperature. Not only will it be easier to cut. Wow, I poured a lot for these tastings. Okay, we should probably get 3 more glasses, right?
I don't have 3.
We'll just do the little ones. Okay, so there you go. There you go. Thank you. I'll just give myself just a little bit more. Okay. So we're going to taste first with the Antonio. I said it right, Jackie? Okay.
Absolutely, you did. You nailed it, honey.
All right, sweet. Okay. So we're going to start, let's start with the Camembert. Okay, so I'm going to cut a little slice of the Camembert here for me and my friends, because you should never eat cheese alone. Now I've had this cheese out of the fridge for about 45 minutes. So it's almost at the perfect temperature, okay? There we go, that's for you. Okay, good, okay. Now you're going to notice it looks very similar to Brie. It also tastes very similar to Brie. But when you're drinking it with a cab, you're going to notice the flavor of the Camembert does not disappear like it would with a Brie or with a cab. Okay, so you take a very small bite, you can have a big bite, whatever kind of bite you like. Okay. I'll get a napkin there. No, you're good. Oh. Now you're going to notice with the Camembert, it's got more of a bite than the Brie would, and then tasting that with the cab. It's so good. So this cab has great notes of plum in it. There's a slight chocolatey taste, I noticed. Again, this is subjective to you guys, right? I also noticed with the Camembert in my mouth that the wine is bringing out a little bit of spiciness too. Did you guys notice that? Yeah, right? So very delicious. Jackie, do you have any questions about what I'm doing so far? Is this good?
No, I absolutely love it. And I love how you're explaining as you go. Very, very good information, because quite honestly, we are an education club, and it is all about learning about our wines.
Right. So we're going to be pouring a little bit of the Donna Walker today too. So I know I'm only supposed to do one, but I like breaking the rules a little bit.
Who
So that's
didn't know
okay.
that, sister? That's why we get along so good.
Right.
Rules are made to be, they're guidelines, right?
Now
Unless
this
you're a
cat
bluept,
is-
in which case it's not, they're
That's
not
right.
guidelines,
I was
they're
getting ready to
rules.
say, I was getting ready to
I'm
say.
here,
"Oh,
Laura,
Tanya's
Miss Laura."
gonna slap me.
By the
I
way,
knew
you look
were
fabulous,
there, Tanya.
Laura.
I knew you were there, sister.
Y'all are killing me with the breaking the rules thing, but go ahead, Miss Laura.
I just stuck my
Awesome.
toe in the water. That's all. I just stuck it in the water, but I pulled it out real quick.
All right, so now we're trying the Donna Walker cab. Donna is one of our amazing leaders here, and she's a kick-ass leader who has been around for a long time, and she's just such a wonderful human being. Her wine is delicious. Now, if you look at the color between the two, they're very different. Hold them closer. So one is a little bit more of a ruby kind of brownish, and then Donna's is more of a plum color. Like they're very similar, but I noticed a little bit of a difference.
Nobody can see it.
What's that?
Hold it closer.
Well, that's-
Well, that's okay. I'm just talking about it. So this wine I'm going to try, and I also noticed when I was looking at the legs. So the legs are those little. If you swirl your wines, first of all, try not to grab your wine glass. This is like a little wine snob tip. Don't grab your wine glass here. Your hands will eventually warm your wine. You don't want that. You want to keep it at a good temperature, right? So I can see if I'm looking at both of these, they've got what are called nice legs, and that's your wine that drips down the side of the glass. That means the tannins are good and the flavor is good. If it was not having any of that, it would be too watery and the wine consistency wouldn't be correct. Okay.
Well, we
So
wouldn't
let's try
find
it.
that in our wines. We would not find that in our wines, Laura, because our wines are absolutely made with care. And we talk a lot about that, right? And we don't take our
Absolutely.
wines out of the barrels until they're ready. And guys, what she's explaining to you is just that. You know, if you get for instance, a store-bought wine or a mass-produced wine, as we like to talk about, it's what we call a wine punch, because it is a recipe. These wines that she's sharing with you today were probably in the barrels for a minimum of 3.5 or 4 years before Rory and Tanya and Peter went to say that they were ready to be bottled. So very important when you're sharing our wines, because we do have a gift here that we have access to these wonderful wines. So go ahead, Laura. I didn't mean to interrupt you, honey.
No, you're not, because I think that's a really great point. The other thing too is like I've tasted a lot of wine, like a lot of you. My husband and I and friends travel the world tasting wine, and this is some of the California's always been my favorite, but this is some of the best wine that I've had. And I can say that without a doubt. So like, if you're not a part of this, you're missing out. So don't miss out. Okay. Now let's taste it with the Donna Walker cab. So I'm still on the Camembert. That cheese is good. I love cheese so much.
Now, is that a cheese that you have to bake like you do, Brie? Or I noticed you're just kind of cutting that off the rind there.
You know, the rind on a Brie and a Camembert is edible. Some of the rinds, like for instance on the Gouda, they've got a wax rind. You definitely want to take that off. And
Okay.
some are a mold wine that you can cut off, but the mold, it sounds gross because we see mold as a bad thing, but on cheese, it actually allows the culture to create the flavor of the cheese. So you can cut off the mold if you get a moldier cheese like cheddar. Like cheddar, cheddar, because it has mold on it, doesn't mean it's bad. You just cut that off. It's just a part of the
Right.
aging process, right?
So what did
This
you
is-
what did you get when you tasted that wine with your cheese, honey?
Actually, this wine is a lot more fruit forward than Peter's wine. Peter's wine is like, it's more broody. Peter will love that. So it's more, it's a great cab, but they're very different tastes, right? So I noticed that the cheese actually complemented Donna's wine a little better. What did you guys think?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Okay, good. Okay. All right. Moving on to the next one. So I'm going to leave the cheddar for the last because it's like the pièce de resistance. So next we're going to try the blue. Okay, so the blue here, this is a very creamy blue. So we're going to just try a little bit. Excuse my fingers. You guys can try that. Now, I'm not a huge blue fan, but I like some blues. I like blues that are not too strong. This one is quite a white blue cheese. The darker your blue cheese is, and obviously the bluer, the stronger it's going to be, and the harder it's going to be. So the harder the blue cheese, the stronger it's going to be because it means it's aged longer. Okay.
Will that have a difference? Will that have a difference in the tasting as well? The stronger the blue cheese, the difference in the taste with the tasting? I would venture to say yes.
Yeah, that's a good point, Jackie. And the answer is yes, because it's going to, at some point, depending how strong it is, overpower the wine, right? And that's not what you want.
That's where I was going, right?
Yeah, and it's okay to have that cheese if you love it. You should do it for sure. But definitely make sure it's not too much. If you want your guests to enjoy it, most guests won't want to overpower the wine. They're going to want to enjoy it. So let's try that with Peter's Cab. That's really good.
Delicious.
So that lightened up his wine, and it very much made it more of a smoother. Okay, the cheese is still in my mouth, but the wine is kind of, I find the wine is mixing with the cheese taste, whereas with the brie, it didn't. Did you guys notice that?
With the camembert, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
All right. So let's try again with Donna's. I'll speed this up a bit. I know we're on a time restriction.
I'm watching you.
Okay. We're good. All right. Donna, you got some good wine there, man.
Take all the time you need. This is so fun and important.
Yes. Yes.
I love the way you're doing this, though. I really do, Laura. This is amazing because this is what we need. This is the education that we need, and your knowledge with this just helps bring that in, right? So I really appreciate this. So,
absolutely. Well, we have how many wines? I could buy so much cheese.
okay, next time, let me know, and I'll join you.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. So
Well, you see, we're not getting in too much trouble for breaking the. Don't say breaking the rules, though.
Yeah, don't. That's just a trigger for Tanya. We don't like that.
Do not say that. I love y'all, but I will hurt you. Okay.
All right. So I just had the blue with Donna's, and I found. Did you guys find it was a little overpowering with Donna's Cab? Like it was still good.
Yeah.
But I would say Peter's won that round. Yeah.
Really good with Peter's.
Peter's. So you can see though, they're the same wine, but they have different tastes. That's why you have so many varietals in the liquor. We have liquor stores up here, but it's not true wine. Here, if this was in the store, they would taste exactly the same. It doesn't work that way with true wine. And we have true wine. Okay.
Very good point. Yeah.
So we've got a little, okay, so we had the blue. So now we're going to go for the 18-month-old Gouda. Now, I'm not a huge Gouda fan. I don't really like aged Gouda. I don't know. I got to think about that, but it's going to be okay. So I'm going to use a different knife because I got blue on that, and that's gross. Let's cut over here.
Just cut the blue off.
Let's take the blue off.
You got it.
You don't want to mix your taste, sweetheart.
You do not mix your cheese like you don't mix your wine. That's just wrong.
Hello. I knew that's what you were going to say, and it's true.
I'm sorry. There's no wrong answer. That's just mean. Okay. All right, here we go. So this is the aged Gouda. So did anyone need a refill? I'm good.
Top of
Donna?
Yeah.
Donna, you're getting out there, man. All right, here we go. You want that we're done?
A tiny bit, yeah.
Okay.
I personally love that cab myself. I obviously helped pick it, but it's just, I wanted something that was completely different from the Antonio, and I love that you're, showing the differences.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay. Okay. So my head's cut off. Can you move?
Yeah, I'll adjust you.
Okay. Not attractive. Okay.
There you
So now we're going to try the aged Gouda. That knife over there. We're going to try this with Peter's wine. Wow, that really explodes in your mouth.
I love aged Gouda. That's gonna be good with Peters.
You think it's good? What's your bet? Better with Peters or Donna's?
I'm gonna bet
Yeah, Peter.
Peters
Peter?
because it's broody and so is aged Gouda.
So my girlfriend Elise says, Peter's wine is broody and so is aged Gouda. So she thinks it's going to be a good match. Okay, let's try it out. That really settled his wine. Like that made the taste even more delicious with that aged Gouda. So again, it doesn't overpower the cheese. The cheese doesn't overpower it, it complements it. So that's what you want. Okay. Now let's try with the Donna's. And guys, you don't need to eat a pound of cheese. You just need a little bit, right? And that's going to make the experience the best. If you overload your mouth with the flavor, you're not going to get anything else, right? Mm-hmm. You're right, Tanya, that smell, something else.
That's really good too. It's really good too.
It's just as good, but it's different.
It's sweetened it.
It sweetened up the cheese. Yeah. So that cab was, Donna's cab was delicious in a different way than Peter's. Okay. So same grape, different wine.
Very good. Yeah.
So I think that's a tie. Would you guys say that's a tie?
Yeah, definitely a tie.
That's a tie.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to have a little grape to cleanse my palate. You guys want some grapes?
Sure.
I'm curious, Laura, may I ask a question?
Sure.
And I'm glad that you just ate the grape to cleanse your palate. So you might want to talk a little bit about that. But since you are doing a pairing with two different wines back and forth, would that give a difference as well in the tasting, or it's because you're changing and going from cheese to wine and then cheese to wine? Is it enough to clean your palate to get the taste? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I should have probably done it between both the cheeses. I mean, this is a total like snobby tasting, so you don't have to do it like this. What you like is what you like. But I wanted to give you the finer points.
Okay.
If you're really into cheese and wine, like there's no wrong answer, Jackie, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Okay,
so,
thank you.
Yeah, like God, if you love it, do it. Cheese, go for it. Okay, so the grapes are really good, and also you can just have plain water to cleanse your palate too. Cleansing your palate means you've got acid and tannins, and you've got the taste of the cheese all through your taste buds. Now, a lot of people, when they drink wine, forget that you've got a whole set of taste buds underneath your tongue. So if you want the full experience of the wine, you can swirl it around in your mouth, let it hit underneath your tongue, and then swallow. It's a very different experience than just sipping it back into your mouth. You'll get a lot there. You'll get more if you swirl it around in your mouth. Okay.
Yeah, just to touch on that, Laura. Rory talked about this last night when he's talking about chewing his wine. That's why he does that, because it swirls around in your mouth and gets under the tongue, and you get a different, completely different result. So yeah, I love that.
Yeah, for sure. When we were in France, and I'll just tell you a quick little story. We were in this in Châteauneuf-du-Pape, and we were in this cave with this master sommelier. This guy was so great. He was so nice, and he tastes the wine ahead of pouring it for you, and it's like he's got a fishbowl in his mouth. He's like this. I'm like, oh, I can't do that. And then he spits it out, right? So those guys are pros. But I mean, first of all, I don't want to spit my wine out unless I'm tasting for vintage and tasting for bottling. Okay, that's a different story. But he knew exactly what was in his wines and how it tasted, and so it's a craft. It's a culture and a craft all its own. And that's why what we have here is so unique, because there are wine clubs all over the world, but not like this. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so next we're going to do Parmesan Reggiano.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not just for pasta. Okay, all right. Okay, you guys can split that up. Okay. So what I love about Parmesan Reggiano, and you may not know this, is that it goes so well with honey, especially local honey. Okay, so let me see here. I got some serious local honey. So I just put some on a spoon here. You don't need a lot. I would say just, that broke off. That sucks. Okay, hold on. No problems.
It's so crumbly.
Yeah, it's crumbly. Well, it's old.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Just a little bit, okay? I probably want a little bit more cheese on that so it doesn't overpower it. And then taste it. Now you can do this with or without the honey. Okay. You guys want honey?
Sure.
Oh, so good. Local honey. Let me tell you a little bit about honey. So local honey, the best type of honey you can get is either creamed or crystallized. It's starting to crystallize. Then you know that the honey's at the best point in its tasting life. Now, when I pair this with the wines, oh, so good. So the honey takes a bit of the sharpness out of the Parmesan. It's right. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. Give me a block of Parmesan and a bowl of honey and we're good. Okay. And of course the wine. So we're going to try this with Peter's. I have a feeling it's going to be better with Donna's, but we'll see. That's really good.
It's really good.
That's really good.
Mm.
To
Yeah.
me, it's
So
opposite. I really like that.
yeah. So now I feel like that Parmesan makes, remember how I said the Camembert made Donna's like a really nice, lighter, sweet, not sweet, but flavorful. I felt the Parm did that to Peter's. So that's how that tastes for me now. So let's try a little bit with Donna's. Wow, very different. Peter, I gotta give that one to you. Donna's is great, but I feel like the taste of the Parm and the wine are very not together, right? They're not as together as they normally are. But the wine, that's still exploding in my mouth. And the good thing, and this is with all our wines, and you guys should know this. When you drink wine, sometimes you get that aftertaste or that, oh, right? You don't have that with these wines. They're very smooth. There's no backlash when you eat them, when you drink them. I've never had it.
That's
All right.
very good too.
Let's do a palate cleanse. All right. So I have some candied walnuts here. We're going to try those out. Walnuts. I think those are going to be really good with I think those are going to be good with the blue. Yeah, the sweet and the strong with the blue. I'll have a sip of Peter's wine there. Peter, that's some good wine, man. Holy smokes. Okay. Okay. Now we're going on to the old cheddar. So it was really interesting when I used to trade cheese, we would deal with the top cheesemakers in Canada. And some of the cheddar that I got was almost 15 or 17 years old. And you think our old that we buy in the supermarket is, maybe 5 years maximum. This cheese that I had, that they gave us all these samples, this cheese is worth $100, a gram. What's that? A pound? I don't know. A couple ounces, a block, whatever, a lot. And there was so much calcium. You would have little calcium bits in it that it had calcified and aged so much, but this was a part of the cheese and you had to eat it with the cheese because you would lose the flavor. It had spent so much time, aging that you wanted to appreciate the whole process. Okay. So we're going to crack into this 26-month-old.
26 months with a new aging process.
If this was 26-year-old cheese, be making $1 million. So, okay, here we go.
And you said that was cheddar, honey?
Yes. Now, cheddar is normally naturally white. For those of you who don't know, if your cheddar is orange, it's been colored. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not the natural color of cheddar. Okay. So keep that in mind. White cheddar, they advertise, it's a marketing thing, right? We're all marketers. If I can market to you for orange cheese and you're going to buy it, I can market to you to white cheese, you're going to buy it. But the natural color of cheddar is white. Okay. It's the natural color of the milk, right? And the cheese comes from the milk. Who here has seen an orange milk come out of cows, right? No, it's not happening. Okay. So we're on my favorite cheese. So it's old cheddar. And I'm going to try a little bit of this. I know this is going to be good with both wines because it's spectacular. That's good, eh? And so smooth. Okay. You know, sometimes I just sit down with a block of cheddar and a bottle of wine and my life is good. So it's just so delicious.
I agree.
Okay.
I love cheese like you do. So yes, I'd be happily joining you, Laura. if I was there.
Yes, let's do it. What I love about Peter's wine here is it's stepped up as I stepped up the cheese. So the taste is matching the cheese, but it's also that you also start to feel taste the tannins more.
Mhm.
The tannins are what surrounds the wine, what holds the wine together. And it's just, do you notice that too? It's
So
on the other
good.
cheeses, I didn't notice it as much
No,
as
but
this.
it's
Yeah.
coming out more.
Yeah, it's coming out more. When you pour a glass of wine in a bottle, don't just drink it right away. You can, it's tempting, right? But wait 10, 15, because the more it aerates, the more the oxygen will aerate the wine. And that means the taste will improve. So I know it's killing you, but be a little bit patient and it's going to taste even better. Okay. Let's try that with Donna's Cab. Did you have Donna's Cab already?
Not yet.
Yeah.
About to.
Good.
All right. Oh, it's good.
It's good
Very
too.
Our wine stepped up.
Yeah,
It did
it was better.
Yeah, both of them are matching the cheddar. I'm not surprised.
differently.
Yeah, this is, I find hers a little bit more full bodied and I feel Peter's is a little bit more intense, but there's no good or bad there. So they're both good.
Mhm.
So that's kind of like my cheese tasting. Now I have a couple other things here. Let me cleanse my palate again. I just want to talk about meat for a second and then sweets.
Yes.
Grapes. So you can do a whole chocolate tasting with wine. I think Rory did one the other day. It was spectacular. These are great. So these are chocolate covered strawberries. They're white chocolate that's been colored for Easter. But this is a great wine to have it with because the strawberry is acidic enough with the chocolate. The chocolate will cancel out the acid in the strawberry and not feel like it's too strong with the wine. Okay, so we'll take a bite of the strawberry. You guys want a strawberry? Sure. There you go. Man, those things are huge.
I
Okay.
know they are.
Oh, good. Okay.
Those look absolutely delicious.
Right? I'm loving that.
Mm,
And we're going to try Peter's Cab with this.
it's so good.
I feel like Peter's Cab overwhelms that a little bit. Let's try Donna's. Donna's is better. It's more in sync with the white chocolate. I think with Peter's, I'd probably need a darker chocolate.
Mhm. Peter's with a dark chocolate.
Dark
would be
chocolate,
delicious.
yeah,
Yep.
for sure. And then the last thing I'm going to cover here today is meat. Like there's tons of meat. I didn't do a charcuterie board. Maybe I'll do that next time. But we've got like a basic Italian salami, no spice, anything, just the regular salami. This will be perfect with any of these cabs. The salami has enough flavor in it that it lasts in your mouth, right? It's one of those things that you eat and there's usually spices in it anyways, right? So if you try this, oh gosh, I love salami so much. Mm-mm. What do you guys think of that?
I'm still on the strawberry.
Yeah, the salami is delicious with the Peter Cab. And then it's still in my mouth after the Peter Cab. Good with both. So that's definitely a tie. So yeah, that's all I've got for you guys today. Can you pull the camera up just a bit?
Yep.
This
Wow.
is our cheese board now. Hold on. We've made a wreck of it, which is the idea. Okay. And we'll be enjoying this after the call. After we say goodbye, we'll be enjoying more of that. So
Well, wow. That was a real treat. I knew she had something special for us today. And Laura, thank you so much. It was very educational, a lot of golden nuggets. Just love you to death, honey. Can't wait to see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
And
I
so,
can't wait to see
Tanya,
one.
Yes, ma'am.
well, we ran over a little bit for you.
No,
to be
you're
able to
totally
put this-
fine. Totally fine, Jackie. And Laura, thank you so much. I just want to say she's kind of set the bar now for all of you coming after her. This is exactly what I wanted when I said I wanted to switch to a Saturday tasting and pairing. So thank you so much, Laura. By the way,
My
you're looking
pleasure.
fabulous, my friend. You're looking
Thank you
great.
so much.
So whatever you're doing for your health, keep doing it. But
All
anyway,
right.
yeah, thank you. I'll let you guys go and enjoy your cheese. And I love everything she did, you guys. The cheese with the honey. Yes, I'm in. The chocolate covered strawberries. I'm in, man. I'm in with all that. So yeah, she absolutely set the bar, guys. This is exactly what I want. So for those of you guys who are coming after for any of these trainings, Jackie, make sure they can watch this one if they want any tips and tricks. And she didn't even break the rules.
Absolutely. I kind of thought you would like it.
Yeah, and she didn't even break the rules, guys, because it's a wine tasting. So you can, there's no rules really. You compare different wines with everything. It doesn't matter. It's just an education option. And so Laura did it fabulously. As always, I expected nothing less. I mean, she's Laura Armstrong. Hello.
No pressure.
Guys, I did put her page in the chat for you. Please, I read it this morning. It's a fabulous page. And I think she even has some more wines featured in that page.
Yes.
So yes, please take a peek at that and get her thoughts even more, and take that and use it when you're sharing our wines. That's the best thing to do. But that's going to be it for me today. And I'm going to turn it over to my sweetheart, Tanya Rickard. And I am going to go do my 20th annual crawfish bowl.
Cheers.
So.
Cheers.
Perfect.
Cheers.
You enjoy that, Jackie, and celebrate your son some more. I know it was his birthday yesterday. So
yeah.
Go ahead and
thank you
celebrate
all.
that.
Y'all have a great rest of your Saturday. See you next week. Bye-bye now.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Take care. Thanks.
Thanks, Laura. All right, guys, just a quick little few things. I want to make sure you guys are aware that every month we are doing I'm calling it a family dinner. Okay. It's where we are coming together. We're kind of doing a tasting with different wines, different foods, around a meal or a theme. So yesterday we did ours around Easter foods and different things like that. And then we will do our next one will be May 11th. And it'll always be with Rory and I and whoever we're with as we travel this globe together. And we'll invite any of our leaders that were around. So that one, we'll do that around a Mother's Day, kind of a themed, and honoring some of the mothers of the wine labels, which I think it's just Donna and myself that are. So I think that's who we're going to be pairing around those wines. So if you have the wines, there's the Tanya Pinot Gris, the Tanya Rosé, the Donna Cab, which Laura just showed. And also I have a second, even though the Rickard is Rory's, really, it's also mine because it's my last name too. So those are the wines that we're going to be pairing around for the next meal. So I just wanted to make sure that I educated you guys with the fact that's what we're doing. Please eat your dinners with us. We want you to be sipping and tasting wines with us, right? So I'm going to try to bring more awareness to what we're doing so that you guys can have that, little sipping and tasting as well. And like I said, Laura did it fabulously. This is what I want. I want you guys to understand that, because I get so many comments about they don't like a certain varietal, and it's just that you haven't tasted it right. And this club is I call it an elite club that we have because it's such fine wine, very, very boutique wine, small vintage, small batches that we go and we buy it all up, you guys. So nobody else can ever have the wine that we have. It's done. It's one and done. We bottle what we have and it's done. That's it. So it's a very rare, special gift that we have in these bottles. My husband, Rory, calls it liquid art in a glass, and that's exactly what it is. There's been a lot of love and care and time put into it. And Laura is especially unique in she has a very expansive wine palette. And the only way to get that is by tasting wines and trying it. That's really it. That's how you get it. So, I've had wine since I was a little girl. It wasn't, my grandparents are Italian, so they'd serve us little tasting glasses at the tables with dinners. And so I've had that experience. And my husband, ever since he was young, traveling the world, tasting all over the world. I haven't had as much experience with different regions, but I've sure tasted a lot of Italian wines and a lot of Napa wines. And so my experience is more American wines, although I have broadened it now to Australian wines. Love some of the Australian wines they have and different things like that. But we feature, our wines are strictly from Napa and Sonoma Valley. That's it. We want to have the cream of the crop. And you guys, it was so funny. The first time that, if you ever look back a little bit in wine history, a little bit of trivia here, France was always taking all the awards. They'd have a special thing, and they have all the awards, all the wine labels, winners would be France. And they didn't even think America had a chance, right? So when America came in and we swept the board with, started winning all the different awards. They didn't even have people there to cover it because they thought it was just going to be France again. So they didn't even have reporters. There wasn't any feed. So it was just so amazing and it was a good thing for a small, young country such as America that we could compete with the wines of the world. And we do, you guys. And if you travel and they say, oh, you're from America, oh, Napa and Sonoma, they talk all about the wines there. And, our vines there have been aged. They're proper, everything, climate, the nutrients. I mean, you have people that'll starve their wines and people that'll overwater them, and they have different tips and tricks that really change the grape. It's just amazing what goes into it. So please, as we do these, maybe not on Saturday, but take the notes here, do it tomorrow. Do the pairing that Laura just shared, trying some different cheeses and things, and expand your own palate and see how it increases your love for wine. Because if you guys don't know, I love wine. I think everybody should have it. I think, unless for medical reasons. Otherwise, I think everyone should have a glass of wine every night. I mentioned it yesterday, but I don't know, because we were doing it wasn't a lot of people on because we were just doing the new wine and dine dinners, but we're getting used to it here. But I have a very upset stomach. I have a hard time eating. And so, but with the wine, I notice every time I pair a meal with wine, my stomach doesn't get upset. And it's a digestive aid. It really helps digest your food as well. So it's just something that I don't like to miss a meal without at least a small glass of wine. And that's just my experience there. But anyway, Rory, did you want to add any notes before we end our hour? I don't know if he's always prepping for the next thing, guys. Also, I do want to point out, my friends, Rory makes it look super easy, but we do run so many businesses behind the scenes. So sometimes when we can't be at certain things, just keep in mind that we are always looking out for you. We're always trying to make sure that everything's done well and properly, and we're always trying to do everything the best way. So I know, sometimes that just happens, right? And also, I just want you guys to understand, Rory is the #1 lead marketer in the world, not just America, in the world. So he is so gracious of his time and giving to his individual students, and then also to some of our leadership. But he is a very busy man, and he works more hours. I have never seen somebody work as much as I have seen that man work. And my father worked a lot, and I felt like the biggest compliment to my husband is that I married my father, and I did. But he even works more than my dad. Just long hours to make sure that everybody is taken care of. Everyone's getting the best of everything. So I just wanted to put that, and I don't think it's said enough. But Jackie did an amazing training on that as well, to understand the back part of our lead system and everything that we do to help support you guys in your growth. So, I think, I don't know, Rory, where is that? Oh, he's not around. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break. So we're going to end this one. I don't know if I can stop the live, but let's see. No, I can't, because I'm not the host. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the live. We're going to have a 5-minute break, and then we're going to have get back on with our next training. Okay, guys. So stretch. I used to tell my little kids, do head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Kind of warm up your body. Kind of get out there, shake it off, and then we'll get going. Thank you all. God bless. Have a great weekend. Oh, and happy Easter.